Just look at how dead this airport is. I can't believe this is Jakarta and... Oh, Hey guys, welcome to another vlog of mine. I'm currently in my hotel room serving my 14-day stay home notice. And yeah, I'm stuck in this hotel room for 14 days. And you'll know why later. The Singapore government decided to put me in this hotel room for 14 days with no social interaction, alone, no social interaction. Did I say that? Yeah, basically I won't be having any social interaction for 14 days. I can't go out of my room and I have to stay inside this room for 14 days. What am I saying? I'm repeating myself.
You're repeating yourself. You're repeating yourself.
Okay, so today in this video, I'm going to take you with me to see what it takes for me to travel to Singapore as an Indonesian. As I value your time, I'm going to put timestamps in the description below as per usual so that you can skip to certain parts of the video that might suit your interest better. That might better suit your interests. So yeah, if this video somehow helps you in any way, please do smash that like button there or I don't know where, and hit that subscribe button as well, as it really does help my small channel grow. So yeah, firstly I'm going to say that the process I go through may differ from person to person depending what country they come from, why they are going to Singapore, and also the government policy that is implemented at that point of time. As for myself, I'm traveling to Singapore as a student and I'm traveling as an Indonesian. So yeah, once again, what's happening to me may not happen to you as well. Just take note of that. Okay, now let's go on to the pre-flight process. What I mean by pre-flight is the things I have to do before my flight. Duh. So when I want to travel to Singapore, I need to get a few medical checkups beforehand, which for me, I needed to do some x-ray tests so that the people in Singapore can see my lungs. Apparently, I don't know what for. Lung fetish. And also I needed to do like some HIV and urine tests. So they took my blood for the HIV test and they took my piss for the urine test. And yeah, all that is done for immigration purposes. Moving on to more admin stuff, which is quite boring, but bear with me. I needed to apply for something called the STP IPA, which is basically the Student Pass in Principle Approval. Let's just call it IPA, okay? So after applying my IPA, I need to tell them on my flight plans, like what plane I'm going to use and the date I'm going to fly to Singapore. But at this point of time, it's just a plan and you're not supposed to buy the tickets yet. Then after your plan is approved by the ICA, you need to declare and pay your stay home notice and swab test appointments. So upon your arrival to Singapore, you'll have to serve a 14-day stay home notice. It's like a 14-day self-isolation period, which I am going through now. And on the 11th day of your stay home notice, they will give you a swab test, which I did earlier today, and it was quite painful to be honest, but it's bearable. So you need to pay for your stay home notice as well. The SHN fees may differ from people to people depending on the country they come from, but if you come from Indonesia, it would cost you around $1,500 without subsidy. If you manage to get a subsidy, you'll only have to pay $840. But if you are like facing some financial issues, they can actually completely waive your SHN fees. So yeah, after getting your IPA, you'll be granted an entry approval from the MOE, Ministry of Education, and in this entry approval letter, there will be like a window period on which they permit you to fly to Singapore, and you will have to book your ticket during that period, which for me was actually quite a tedious process because my initial flight plan was cancelled. You know, it's a pandemic and flight schedules are extremely volatile lately, so you can't predict when you are flying to Singapore, or maybe that's just my case. But after you book your flight, that's it. That's all you need to do for your admin stuff. Oh yeah, one more thing before your flight. Stockpiling snacks. Okay, make sure you get all the Indomies on all the pop me's you need for you to survive this zombie apocalypse for 14 days. Actually, you don't need to buy all these snacks because the hotel will provide you with food 3 times a day, but sometimes their food can be shit. So now all that's left to do is to pack all these good stuff. The packing process was rather straightforward. I just need to get my sister to do all the things I need to do while I just stand there and do nothing. Psych. Of course I helped lah. Why would I do that? So we decided to pack all my clothes in this vacuum plastic to save space, and this is how we decided to get rid of the air inside the vacuum chamber. And that is it for the packing process, folks, and now we are ready to travel to the airport the next morning. Okay, I changed the music because it's the next day and we have to set the mood right before we travel to the airport today. And because we're going to the airport, I'm going to use this N95 mask, which is supposed to be the best mask to prevent COVID-19. But I wasn't really sure how to use it. As you can see here, I am struggling really badly. And yeah, I didn't even realize that you can actually stretch the thing. I was confused because the design of the straps are not like traditional masks, and you have to put it over your head, and I finally found out how I can use this mask. Yeah, looking good. I changed my mask because the previous mask was super uncomfortable, but yeah, I'm going to use it in the airport. And now I'm on my way all the way from Bandung to Jakarta because my plane is scheduled to fly from the airport in Jakarta, and yeah, here we are, Jakarta. You know you've reached Jakarta when you see all these tall buildings everywhere and you no longer feel like you're in Indonesia. Well, that's just Jakarta. Cool, right? And finally, here we are, the Soekarno Hatta International Airport. I have literally never seen Jakarta's airport this empty before. It looks like a dead airport that is no longer operational. And here we are, me and my family staring at all these cancelled flight schedules. Crazy. I really can't believe that this is Jakarta. To prevent the spread of COVID-19, all the buttons are replaced by pedals. Most of the shops and restaurants here in the airport are closed. For the boys. This is the check-in area of the airport, and yeah, we are checking in. And before we check in, we are supposed to fill in this health declaration form before we come to Singapore. And yeah, we weigh in our bags, and as per usual, my guitar has to go to the odd-sized baggage section. One thing to take note of before going to the airport is that all the air conditioners are turned off to prevent the spread of COVID-19, and it feels super damn hot in here, so it would be better if you actually wear light clothing. Moreover, this N95 mask feels like I have a little greenhouse on my face and it's super uncomfortable. This is how the immigration place looks like, and there was only like one person working here and he was even slacking when I came. And yeah, it's so empty, just look at that. After the immigration process is done, this is where you go, the waiting zone. Just look at how empty these shops are. I had to wait in this place for like another 2 hours, so I just sat down and chill. Now I'm going to use this time just to rant on how uncomfortable these N25 masks are. It's super tight at the nose, and also the rubber bands are super tight that it feels like it's digging in into your ears. And don't get me started on the moisture that's trapped inside the mask. Oh my god, that was awful. But hey, it's for the better, right? So I had to just bear with it for a few hours, and at this point of time I was super thirsty and I was finding a place to drink. All the cafeterias and the shops here sells like fancy, expensive drinks, and that's not what I want right now. What I want is just a good old plain water that I can actually get for free if the water fountain was available. Sadly, it wasn't available and I had to get this instead. Some kind of vitamin waters with all the vitamins that I don't need. But it feels good that I finally got my hands into a bottle of water and there's no one around me, so I'm safe to open my mask and drink it. I finally have a good reason to open my mask, and face reveal in 3, 2, 1, bam! Look at all of that moisture on my face. I was even shocked myself. So here's a footage of me drinking. As I still had another hour to wait, I decided to watch Netflix. Guess the show I'm watching in the comments below. Nairobi, Berlin. Finally, it's time for me to get into the plane. And before getting into the plane, they give us some hand sanitizers. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our flight. So this is how the business class looks like, but we peasants are not going to be here, sadly. We're going to stay here, the economy class. Sad times. This plane has a 3x3x3 layout, and they give us these goodies on our seats. They included this care kit and a pair of earphones for your entertainment. Inside this care kit, we can find a mask, this thing that I don't know what that is, and a hand sanitizer. So let's take a look at the facilities they provide us. A TV, a really good leg room, and a window. Oh yeah, the thing that they gave me was disinfectant wipes. So now we're just gonna wipe it down, wipe. And yeah, that too. Never forget the buttons. So they also gave us this device, whoops, that is able to control the TV and play games on it. And yeah, you know what's the best part of this plane? This. Hahaha, but I couldn't really connect to the Wi-Fi, so it was useless anyways. And this is how the meal looks like. Ooh, yum yum. They actually tasted quite decent. And of course, we had to check the lavatory, or I don't know how it's pronounced, but basically the toilet. Yeah, they provided us with some toothbrush, mouthwash, and in fact, I'm going to try that mouthwash right now. Oops, yeah, it's quite hard to pull out. And finally, after around 2 hours of flight, we finally reached the best airport in the world, Changi Airport. This airport looked kinda empty as well. And before I was allowed to get through the immigration process, I was sent to like a small medical clinic that is located in this airport and get my temperature checked. And once my health was approved by the people in the medical center, I was given a sticker which acted like a ticket for me to get out of the immigration. Unlike the airport in Jakarta, Changi Airport was actually well air conditioned. And from the moment I landed on this airport, there are people who guided me through all the procedures that I need to go through, leading me to this bus that will take me to my SHN dedicated facility. This bus that they are using to take me to the hotel is actually a Singapore Zoo bus, which probably is their way of reducing allocative inefficiency. And yes, that's the sticker I told you about. Just a Singapore view at night. And finally, we reach our destination, the V Hotel. And this is where I'll be spending my 14 days without any social interaction. So here's a quick room tour of my room that I'll be staying in. I have 2 twin beds for myself, and there's a painting above the beds. They also have this ramp that I can place my stuff, and yeah, that's the painting again. A TV, and a water heater for me to cook all my Maggi mee. So throughout my 14 days, no one is allowed to come in nor come out of my room. Food will be provided 3 times a day, and it will be placed on a table right outside my room. This is how the bathroom looks like, by the way. Quite clean. This is a footage of me waking up the next morning and showing you around. There's a large mirror in front of me, which apparently they say according to Chinese tradition, you're not supposed to sleep in front of a mirror or something. Oh well, this is one thing you can't do in Indonesia, drinking tap water. And oh yeah, it feels good to break the law. This is the kind of breakfast and the lunch provided by the hotel. And well done guys, you've reached the end of this video. I really hope I was able to give you insights of what it takes to fly to Singapore in the middle of a global pandemic. So yeah, if you enjoyed watching this video, please really do consider supporting my channel by subscribing and liking this video. And ciao!